What's up everyone? My name is Shem and welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about split toning in Adobe Lightroom. What is split toning, you may ask? You take two tones in your picture, your highlights and your shadows, and you assign different colors to them. This is a very fast and easy way to color grade your pictures in Lightroom. So how do you decide what colors to use for your highlights and shadows? This is where color science and color schemes come in. If you're not familiar, just look up the color wheel and color schemes on Google and you'll find pictures of different color schemes based on different patterns on the color wheel. So anyways, let's open up Lightroom and get on with the editing. So let's start with this first picture here. I took this picture around sunset in a random street in Charleston, South Carolina. This is the final edited version of the picture. This is the before. So as you can see, I did a lot with this picture just from split toning it. So now I'm going to show you how to take it from this to this. So let's reset it. So the first thing we're going to do is color correct this image. As you can see, the image is very underexposed, at least for the shadows, and the highlights are blown out, which is pretty usual for a raw picture. So let's press auto, let Adobe do its work, and look what pressing auto did. It brought out clouds that you couldn't even see in the original picture. And yet another reason to shoot raw. Now let's lift up the shadows a little bit using the tone curve. And then let's do an S curve to provide some contrast. Alright, I like where this is going. And now comes the split toning part. Go down to your effects panel in Lightroom and you'll see split toning. So now we have the shadows and the highlights. Click on the highlights to decide what color you're going to use for your highlights. Since this is the sunset, there's an orange hue in the sky. You want to make, at least what I would do is I would make the hue of the sky orange. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. And then for the shadows, we're going to use a color close to teal, like your standard orange and teal look. Alright, there you go. This looks pretty good. So this is the before. And this is the after, the finished product. And this was all done within minutes. Doesn't take that long to do it once you know what you're doing and you know what color scheme to go for. And obviously the more you practice with it, the better you get at it. Okay, so let's try this on another picture. Here we have a picture of my friend Maddie that I took in front of Waterfront Park in Charleston, again. But with this picture, I used the HSL slider instead of split toning. So let's see if we can recreate the look using split toning instead of the HSL sliders. And here's a before and after for reference. And yet another reason to shoot raw. So let's reset the image. Alright, so as you can see, we are far from this picture being finished. The yellowness of the sun is very strong and the sky is a little bit blown out. Let's go to our effects panel. Split toning is already turned on. So this, we're essentially switching the color scheme from the previous picture. The sky still has its blue hue, so we're gonna assign a blue color to the sky. And the shadows, which is in the foreground of the image, where Maddie is, we're gonna make that part of the picture have an orange /yellow hue. Alright, so let's click on highlights. Let's go to the sky. See how the sky is changing colors as I move this color around. Okay, that's a good starting point for the sky. Let's start changing up the shadows. Alright. The problem here is, since there's already a lot of light on her face from the sun, and now we just up the saturation even more by moving this around, we have a very, very warm picture of someone's face. An easy way to fix this is by balancing the tones. Just take this center button here and move it over to the highlights to make the color of the highlights more prominent in your picture. And there we go. This is the finished product after using split toning. Here's a reference for your before and here's the after. Now let's put them side by side on the screen so you can fully appreciate the journey that this picture went through. Alright, so that concludes today's tutorial on split toning. Let's have a quick recap of everything that we went over today. What is split toning? Split toning is a very fast and very easy way to color grade your pictures in Adobe Lightroom. You assign 2 different colors to your shadows and highlights, and how do you choose these colors? You use color signs and color schemes. If one tone is weaker or stronger, and the image looks imbalanced, simply shift your balancing button on the split toning panel closer to the tone that you want stronger and away from the tone that you want weaker. Here is the big channel news. Alright, so unless if you've been living under a rock for 2020, coronavirus has completely turned America upside down. I've moved out of my dorm at College of Charleston, and during my time from my day in the life video to now, I've really gotten into photography and videography, and I think this is where I'm taking this channel now. What I'm planning to do is creating more photography and videography tutorials on stuff that I've learned over the span of 6 months, I believe. So if you want to see more of these types of videos, please subscribe to this channel and like this video and tell all your friends about it that are into this kind of stuff. Alright, and that's it. That is the video. That is the news. Thank you so much for watching, and again, please like and subscribe, and if you're extra loyal, turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.